Welcome to the spooky Q&A video. I don't have anything prepared for Halloween on this channel, so this is all you're getting. Okay, so in the last video, I said that I was going to do a Q&A video, and people submitted their questions, so I have them right here, and I'm going to answer them. Just a quick disclaimer. I mentioned last time that I found out YouTube has a way of filtering out questions in the comment section. And I tried using that, and I got a whole bunch of the questions from that. But unfortunately, I decided to just double check the comments on their own. And it seems that it didn't filter in like a bunch of other questions. So I had to go back and look, and I had to add them to the questions I already copied down here. And I tried to get it. I'm pretty sure I got all the questions. Unfortunately, I don't know if I did. So, disclaimer, I might have missed one or two people. I double checked, but there was some confusion, so hopefully I got all the questions. If I didn't, help me get to 9,000 subscribers, and then you can ask your question again. But I'm pretty sure I got everybody, so we're going to be doing the Q&A. But first, before we get to that, I do want to re-plug a few things that I did in the last video, and as well as bring up a couple of things that I had forgotten to talk about. So, first things first, I want to once again plug my Twitch channel, Rob the Wonderful, just like this channel, and my gaming channel, Rob the Casual Gamer. I got a couple of new subscribers to the gaming channel, but I really want to push it a little bit more. I want to get more people over there. I want to hopefully get more people to the Twitch channel as well. Maybe we can get some more regulars in chat. And it's been great over there. Like, if you haven't been watching, you're missing out on a whole bunch of crazy stuff that we've been doing over the past 2 years or so. I even got me one of them there VTuber models, so you can go check that out. And it's funny because a lot of people who use the VTubers, I'm sure a lot of their fans are like, I wonder what they look like in real life. And, you know, people who go to my gameplay channel and stuff, probably already know who I look like, but I like to think that someone is gonna find the channel who has like no idea about this channel, and then find, you know, this channel and see my real face and be horribly disappointed that I'm not a pretty anime boy. I am looking to maybe rebrand the gaming stuff a little bit more. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I also am going to get an updated VTuber as well, because the one I have it's great, but it's kind of an economy model, so I might want to splurge a little bit on a better one. Might be looking for some new artwork too, for this channel as well as the other channels, but I don't know yet. If anybody is good with art, maybe get a hold of me and we'll see. I don't know when or if I'm gonna do it, but it's something I do want to throw out there. I also want to replug my Instagram. I've been posting pictures of the physical media collection there for a little while now, and people seem to be enjoying it. I've been trying to do one a day, but I'm probably not going to be doing one a day anymore. It's just a lot of extra work. It's not that it's a lot of work. It's just like it's another thing I have to do during the day. So I might miss a day or two or something. But if you ever wanted to see the collection slowly, you can go to my Instagram for that. Which brings me to the thing that I forgot to bring up in the last video. So I mentioned this a long time ago, and I want to mention it again. I now have 8,000 subscribers. If I get to 10,000 subscribers, which, by the way, doesn't seem all that difficult at this point, because I am suddenly starting to gain subscribers here. I don't know why. I was stagnated for the longest time, and then suddenly people found my channel when I wasn't making videos, which is a thing that I've noticed. Like, when I was posting frequently, my subscriber count stagnated, but then like I would take some time off, and then suddenly I would see the numbers go up. So I don't know. It's like, that's clearly an algorithm thing. I don't know how the hell that's supposed to work, but because I haven't been posting stuff, I have been getting new subscribers, and I think 10,000 subscribers might not be that difficult of a thing to happen. Might be a very realistic goal at this point. But yeah, 10,000 subscribers. I'm gonna do a video where I go through the DVD collection and probably the VHS collection, which is off camera over there. It's something I've been wanting to do for a while, but I wanted to give some incentive to to do it. So 10,000 subscribers, I will do a video talking about the DVDs, the Blu-rays, the VHSs, and all the other stuff I have lying around here. So 10,000 subscribers, make it happen. All right, and that brings us to the Q&A portion with our first question. Richie O, have you thought about doing a VHS, DVD, or video game collection video for a subscriber special? You have your answer. 10,000 subscribers, and I will do the DVDs and VHSs. As for video games, I've been planning to do that on the Toy channel, Rob's Toy Bin. I've been meaning to do that. I've been distracted with other stuff, and I'm very behind on that channel as well. But yeah, 10,000 subscribers here. I will do a video on this. The video games on the Toy channel will happen sometime. I don't know when. I don't even know how I'm going to do it. I was thinking of maybe doing it by console. Like do like an Atari video and then an NES video and then a Sega Genesis video. I don't know. I'm still kind of working out the bugs because that is going to be another hefty project for the Toy channel. And it's probably just going to be me going over to the shelves. The games are in the other room, in the living room. So I'm probably just going to be going in there and, you know, holding the camera, looking at the games. I don't know. I still haven't worked out the kinks, but eventually I will do that. Cartoon Obsession asks, what are some of your favorite indie games? I have many. I streamed them. The VODs are uploaded to the gaming channel. Rob the Casual Gamer again. I've actually played a lot of indie games over there. Many that I feel are very underrated. Some are a little more well-known. Again, if you missed out, you can check out the VODs on the gaming channel. I've saved them on the Twitch channel as well. Some of the ones I played through the entire Shantae series. Is that considered indie at this point? I think Shantae's kind of more little like riding the line of like mainstream at this point. There was one called Owl Boy, which was really good. There's a game I played a long time ago that nobody ever talks about. It's called Saturday Morning RPG, and I really liked it, but I don't think it was like everybody's cup of tea, you know. But I enjoyed it very much. There was a game that I played almost 2 years ago now. It's called One Shot, and that game kind of took me by surprise because I didn't realize what it was. But it was a very interesting game, and me and my crew of regulars on stream, and I guess a few people who watched the game channel. Even though I believe the VOD uploads of this game didn't get a lot of views for some reason, but we kind of grew attached to the main character, and it's been kind of a staple of the channel, kind of a meme, really. And if you want to go even deeper. There was a game I played a while ago. It was not an indie game, it was a Nintendo game called Miitopia. And it's a game where it's like an RPG, but you can add whoever you want to every role in the game. All the player characters, all the NPCs, the main bad guy, all that stuff. And people have made amazing creations using the Miis, and very, very detailed, very, you know, realistic looking characters, and you can find them all over like Twitter and Reddit and stuff, and you just download a code. So we played this game like more than 2 years ago, no, almost 2 years ago, about a year and a half ago actually. And the way I played it was I was the main character, obviously, and I made all the NPCs cartoon characters, and I made the main villain. His name was Dark Lord. It was like Dark Lord Network Executive. And the premise of the game was he steals faces, and I played it up like he was canceling all the cartoons. And I teamed up with characters from a lot of games that I had previously streamed. And it was so much fun. It's probably my favorite playthrough. Guys, I cannot emphasize enough how much you have missed if you hadn't been watching the gaming content. So go check out all that stuff over there. It was a blast doing that. It's also where the design for my VTuber model came from. So if you want to know about that, you'll have to watch the playthrough. I won't answer questions. I want you to watch it. All right. But yeah, there's plenty of indie games. Just check out the playlist that I have over on the gaming channel, And pretty much everything I played, I really enjoyed. Some of it was a little difficult than others. There was this game called No Straight Roads, which was kind of a beat 'em up rhythm game. It was very difficult for me because I'm not good at rhythm games, but I really did enjoy it. I think a more recent version of it came out, so the version I played was on the Switch and was kind of janky, but it is a game worth checking out if you like rhythm games and rock music and fighting for rock and roll or whatever the plot of that game was. But yeah, go check out the gameplay channel. Shameless plug for the gameplay channel again. HeatXZ wants to know if I have plans to open up Patreon request episodes. I would like to. I had wanted to for a while, but I've been just so busy with things that I felt like I wouldn't be able to honor Patreon requests. And I don't want to do that, especially considering if you're paying me to do them. I did like receiving them. I got some really good requests last time I did them, but I'll have to see. I'll see what happens in the new year. I want to finish the Masters of the Universe retrospective first, which I'm probably going to do next year. Hopefully things have cleared up for me a little bit better. Now that my technical problems have been solved, I think putting out videos is not going to be as difficult as it was. There's still other issues going on, but at least 50% of my problems have been solved, so that's something. But eventually I will. I'll make some kind of announcement about it. But right now, I mean, the tier is still there if you're feeling really generous, but I'm not taking requests at the moment. So, again, I'll announce when I'm going to do it again. Cynical Taylor, you actually asked a whole bunch of questions, and I said one question per person, so I just picked one of your questions, and it was thoughts on celebrities replacing regular voice actors in animated films. That's one of those things where I understand why they're doing it because, name recognition and all that, but it doesn't really justify, taking an actor who'd been playing a character for a really long time and, replacing them. It just doesn't feel right. There's been many examples of it, especially recently, like the Scoob movie, where all the Scooby Gang was replaced except for Scooby-Doo, which was very... we were lucky to get Frank Welker to continue to be Scooby-Doo. But the rest of the cast, while they weren't bad, they just weren't the same. Because they had... The Scooby... right now, Scooby-Doo has like a very solid, good cast of voice actors. And it's just a shame that they couldn't cross over to the movie. Again, the more recent example is the Super Mario Brothers movie about how people want Charles Martinet to voice Mario and not Chris Pratt. I did see the trailer, but I'm not really convinced on Chris Pratt right now. We've only heard a little bit of him. I'm going to need to hear more. You're going to have to convince me. I understand there are people making good arguments about the Charles Martinet thing, about how... he can't do the wahoo Mario for too long or something. He doesn't have to be like at 10 all the time. It's a movie. There's comedy, but there's also supposed to be like drama and serious moments. So I'm sure, and he's a better voice actor than people give him credit for. He doesn't just voice Mario. He has a lot of voice roles. He is the voice of Parthenax in Skyrim, the dragon, and he spoke dragon language. So... just look up that character if you've never played Skyrim. But he's a better voice actor than people give him credit for. I feel like he could have done the role had he been asked. But it's a shame. I guess replacements can work, but I've very rarely seen them do it. And this is not a new thing either. Going back to the late 80s, early 90s, the Jetsons movie, they had almost the entire original cast of the show. They had Mel Blanc, they had George O'Hanlon, who both unfortunately passed away, and I believe those were their last roles, but they didn't get the voice actor for Judy Jetson. They replaced her with pop star Tiffany because there was going to be musical numbers. Now, they could have just had her do the music. That would have been perfectly fine. But they had her voice Judy Jetson, and you know what? She was terrible just speaking as Judy Jetson. It was just not working for me. So I really don't like it. I wish voice actors would get more of a chance in Hollywood, but we all know how stubborn Hollywood is. So yeah, that is my thoughts on that. I do wish the voice actors would get more respect and more recognition, but you know how the business is. Lob City 2.0. When did you start Cartoon Clip Show, and what was the inspiration behind doing it? So, this is a very common question I get, and because I guess there's a lot of time in between Q&A videos that I have to, I guess, say it again. So I started doing videos around 2009 off YouTube. I wasn't using YouTube at the time. A lot of people weren't because of restrictions. At the time, YouTube only allowed like 10-minute videos, and that was also around the time when copyright stuff started happening and DMCA's. This was like the early days when that started, and they would just like take videos down. They would nuke channels just without question, without contacting the people behind the channel, and a lot of people ended up migrating to a platform called Blip TV, which unfortunately is not around anymore, but that's a whole other discussion. And a lot of people I watched at the time were using Blip. Like I watched Nostalgia Critic, I watched Angry Video Game Nerd, I watched Spoonie and all them. The Channel Awesome era of people before all the stuff happened. And I saw, this whole emergence of producers talking about stuff they liked. And it was mostly movies or video games. And I had a fondness for a cartoon. I had started to collect DVDs and stuff. I've basically been archiving for a very long time now, since the mid-2000s, because I wanted to preserve stuff like this, for future generations, I guess. But I saw these people, doing videos and talking about stuff they liked and making jokes. So I was like, I kind of want to do that. So I got a really, really cheap camera. And one day I just wrote up a script and got in front of the camera, and that's how it started. It didn't start out very well because at the beginning I was very inexperienced at doing this. And one of the humbling things that I found out about, like a lot of people that were doing this, they had like backgrounds in film and acting and theater and stuff, and I was just some guy. And I think a lot of other people were just like, I'm just a regular person doing this. And I was like, wow, really? They have that much experience? I thought they were just regular jackoffs like me, but apparently not. A lot of inspiration behind it was at the time, there weren't really a lot of people that focused on cartoons. Like some of the other reviewers at the time would, touch upon cartoons, but they would also do like a lot of other things. And there were a couple around, but no one would like take on full shows and like old movies and other weird stuff. So that kind of became my niche for a while. And a lot of the things that inspired it, like I've been compared to Nostalgia Critic before. Please don't do that. We are not the same, okay? Maybe at the time it was a trend to be kind of like him, but it wasn't really like that. Believe it or not, one of the big inspirations for how I did my videos was Angry Video Game Nerd. And if you watch Cartoon Clip Show episodes, you'll probably pick up on a lot of cues, like a lot of like similar sounding jokes or similar sounding bits that I would do. I'd make the frowny face like he did. I'd do stuff like that. Spoonie was another big one for me. And I got a little bit of inspiration from other people like Linkara. Who else was there? Brad Jones, the Cinema Snob. So it was like little bits and pieces of other people that, things that I liked and I found funny. So I started doing it. And I tried to focus, on cartoons, and some people liked it. Not a lot of people did, but some people liked it, and that is how I am. Why I'm still doing it, I don't know, but I'm still doing it. So you can probably tell if you go back to the first episode, you can tell how much I've improved. Even I'll admit to that. But yeah, that is the story of Cartoon Clip Show and how it came to be. Zachary McCoy says, now that Disney is doing a Marvel What If series, what kind of scenarios would you want to see in a Star Wars What If show? What's quick thoughts about the Mario Brothers movie? I've kind of already, that's two questions. I've kind of already answered that. I'll briefly summarize. It looks nice. Jack Black as Bowser sounds really cool. The other voice acting sounds good. It's just the Chris Pratt part that I'm still a little hung up on. But I'm feeling a little more optimistic about it after seeing the teaser. As far as a Star Wars What If series, I've seen a lot of people online say that they want this, and I'm totally in favor of that. I believe they kind of sort of did stuff like this. There's a kind of an alternate timeline Star Wars comic, I think, where they failed to blow up the Death Star or something in A New Hope. Stuff like that's kind of interesting. I didn't really care much for the storyline they went with that, but there could be a lot of scenarios. Like what if Anakin didn't go to the dark side? What if the clones wiped out all the Jedi? What if I don't know. There's so much you can do with that concept that I kind of wish Disney would do it. They've been doing non-canon Disney stuff like Star Wars Visions, which I think was great. I wouldn't mind seeing that's non-canon and that's just like its own separate thing, but I wouldn't mind seeing like that universe of Star Wars. Like, you've set up a whole bunch of cool protagonists with those episodes. I would like to see like them team up. That would be kind of cool. But yeah, there's a lot of different things. Like, what if Mace Windu survived? I don't know. Did he survive? He probably, knowing Star Wars, he probably did, and I don't know about it. What else? What if Luke didn't go crazy and try to kill Kylo Ren and have him be a good guy? And then oh no, here's a good one. Here's a good one. This is something that I was hoping for with the sequel trilogy. And this is where I thought it was going. What if Rey went to the dark side and Kylo Ren changed his ways and joined the rebellion? Like they swapped roles, like in the middle of the trilogy. I think that would have improved it immensely. I don't know if it would have been good, but it would have been an improvement. But I thought that's where I thought the sequels were going, and it would have been very interesting. But yeah, again, there's a lot they can do with a What If Star Wars show. I'm kind of hoping they do it. Inspiration date. What happened to Pinto? We don't talk about that. I'm just kidding. Nothing happened to him. So for those of you who don't know, Pinto's a friend of mine. You can find him on this channel. We used to do regular movie vlogs together. But we stopped doing that because we kind of didn't stop going to the movies every night. And then like I moved, and some of our friends were having like regular get-togethers on Saturday nights, and we were kind of doing that instead of going to the movies. If you want to find him, he's actually streaming on Twitch like I am. His name is One-Eyed Freakbot. That's also his Twitter handle. I'm usually in his chat. In fact, as I'm filming this, I think he's going to be going live soon, so I got to hurry up with this. I'm usually in his chat. He's usually in my chat as well, so you can check him out there. We used to do the regular movie vlogs, but for those of you who haven't been around since the very beginning, we also had a riff show that we used to do when I was using other platforms that weren't YouTube because of copyright reasons. We used to riff on anime and other weird things that we would find online. And, well, we stopped doing that because, I stopped using the other platforms and I came to YouTube. And I can't do that on YouTube because I've actually tried uploading the videos to YouTube a couple of times, and just immediate copyright claim. Yeah, you can't. I can't put those, especially the anime videos, because anime is very protected by its by its rights holders in Japan. I've heard horrible things happening to YouTubers who dare post a little bit of anime on their videos. So I'm trying to avoid anime on YouTube because it might get ugly. We used to do riff shows, and we really liked doing it, and other people really liked it as well. I would love to find a home for those videos. There's like Vimeo, there's like Odyssey and other platforms, but it's very time consuming to have to upload all those, and I just don't have the time to do it. Well, I'm hoping maybe at some point I'll have time to do it. That being said, I have proposed to him the idea of doing a riff show on Twitch. we do it over Skype or something. I'm still trying to work out the logistics of that. Also, we have to be careful about what we show because, again, copyright. Twitch has a lot of problems, just like YouTube. And, yeah, we just have to figure out what we're going to watch, and hopefully it's something someone won't come after us for. So that's a fun idea. I actually, before we move on, I actually have a funny story about... I don't think I've ever told this in a video. Well, I've told him about this, but... So we were doing this riff show, and we did anime, and the title of the video was Rob and Pinto Try to Watch Anime or something like that. And I was using Daily Motion at the time. And I would upload the videos, and they would immediately be like age restricted or taken down. And I thought it was because of anime. I thought maybe they thought, anime, should be age restricted or whatever. So I contacted Daily Motion, and I was like, hey, why are you restricting my videos? We're not doing anything bad. And they told me that it's because the word Pinto was in the title. And I was like, what? Okay. So I just decided to take his name off the videos. He went uncredited. And I told him about this. And I was like, I thought he would be surprised about this. But no, apparently he understands why. And it's because in certain countries, Pinto is a word for penis. And I had never heard of this. Apparently it's not an American thing, because I had never heard of it. It seems to be like a European thing. And Daily Motion is based out of France. So then it started to make sense. And he told me, yeah, it makes it difficult for me to make usernames and stuff. So that's that story. He had to go uncredited for a while. I guess that's why he prefers the username One-Eyed Freakbot over that. But by the way, Pinto is not his nickname. That's his name. That is his last name, and we just call him that. So that was just kind of a funny thing to happen. So that's... I don't know. Did anybody know about that? Leave a comment if that's a thing you knew about, and you're like not from Europe or something. Because I had no idea. To me, Pinto was like a breed of horse, a model of car, and a type of bean. That's it. And then he had the last name Pinto, and that's it. I don't know. I just don't know. It's just a weird, funny. We laughed about it a little bit. So yeah, that's my story about Pinto. But he's still around. I still see him fairly regularly too. So you can check out his stuff. One-Eyed Freakbot on Twitch if you want. Rowley says, if you could go back in time, what are some things you would have done differently in order for you to reach the satisfaction you wanted pertaining to level of success, popularity, etc.? I really don't know, and that's kind of the problem. Like, I don't know why things didn't work out. Like, I tried to do all the right things, like everything that I've heard, you got to do. You got to have this type of thumbnail, you got to have this type of video, you got to upload on the regular, you got to I did all the things, and none of it worked for me. So I don't know. Maybe keep with a more frequent upload schedule. Maybe instead of stubbornly trying to brute force my way through a broken video program, maybe I could have bailed on it a lot sooner. Would have saved me a lot of money too. Hey, this might be a good time to once again plug my Patreon. Help me recover from the cost of having to upgrade that stupid video program I was using. $1 is all it takes. I don't know. Maybe try to do more topical stuff. Like, I've tried doing that. Like, when 2015 Ghostbusters was about to come out, I did a review on Ghostbusters Extreme. So that was, or Extreme Ghostbusters. Maybe stuff like that. I can try to do that, but again, it requires me to be more attentive and have the time to work something out. So, I guess there's a few things. I mean, if anybody has any suggestions as to how we can improve things on this channel, feel free to let me know. In the meantime, I'm just going to be doing my thing and releasing Cartoon Clip Show as often as I can. So, there you go. Anthro Mike, video game or comic book, web comics you wish got an anime, cartoon, or movie adaptation. To be more specific, I mean video game or comic book or web comic which never got an actual big budget adaptation. Never, huh? I remember reading a while ago, and I talked about this comic already on the Toy Channel a long time ago when I reviewed comics. I don't review comics anymore, but there's this comic I found a while ago called I Hate Fairyland, also known as Fuck Fairyland in certain places. It's look it up. It's a great comic. It's really funny. I would love to see that get an adaptation. Like that would fit perfectly on Adult Swim. Like give it to Titmouse or something, because they've kind of specialized in stuff like that. You know, they did like Metalocalypse and other violent things, Super Jail and all that. Like or get the animators from Super Jail on it. But it is a very violent and funny comic. But I feel like that would have a good adaptation. There's some other ones. There's this comic I was reading called Descender. It was a sci-fi comic, and I could have sworn it was set to get a movie adaptation, but I hadn't heard anything about it recently. I really enjoyed it. It's not one of my favorites, but it did grab my attention for quite some time. There was another comic. This one's a little bit more underground. It's called Mech Cadet U. I would describe the comic as Pacific Rim meets the Iron Giant. Basically, it's kind of the trope of like the teenager getting a mech, except the mech is alive, and they have to fight these monsters that keep showing up. I think it's only like 4 volumes, or 3 or 4 volumes. I don't remember how many it is, but I really liked it. I feel like that would work very well as like a Netflix series or something. Video games. There's a lot I think could be adapted. They've been talking about a Legend of Zelda series for a while. I know it had a cartoon in the 80s, but I think people want like a more faithful adaptation. It could work depending on which Zelda we're doing, or if they're just going to do their own thing with it, which I think is more likely. Earthbound would make, or the Mother series in general could have a good like animated adaptation. I would love to see that in the right hands, of course. I don't know who would be able to man that. I remember AVGN did his video about Earthbound, talking about an animated series, and I was planning to do a video following up on that, talking about who I would like to see helm like an Earthbound animated series. One of the names I kept going to was Genndy Tartakovsky, because I think he could do it. Maybe Craig McCracken even. But I think the Mother series would lend itself well to an animated series. Trying to think of some other ones. The Kid Icarus game for the DS had some like animated shorts, I think, but they were pretty funny. I think they could have expanded that into a series as well. Man, there's so many I could think of. See, Resident Evil had movies, animated movies as well, and TV series, which are apparently not very good, from what I hear. Silent Hill had a movie, and the movie wasn't very good either. The movie mostly seemed good, from what I understand, but as far as like an adaptation from the game, it apparently was lackluster. Mega Man has had an animated series. I would really like to see maybe a more faithful adaptation of Mega Man, and Mega Man X as well. But those are all shows with series that already had some sort of adaptation. Something that never had an adaptation. Let's see, Kirby had a cartoon. F-Zero had an anime too, and I kind of liked it, but I can't find it anymore. It sucks. Halo had a TV show. Apparently it's bad. The Witcher show I hear is really good, but I haven't played the game or read the novels. But all right, I think we're spending too much time in this. I think we're okay. Yeah, so yeah, those comics I mentioned, and I guess the Mother series would be really good candidates for adaptation. Mark Myers, are there any podcasts that you're a big fan of? Surprisingly not. I don't really listen to podcasts anymore. I mostly listen to like audiobooks, stories, people, you know, doing audiobooks on YouTube, or sometimes I'll get like an Audible or something. I'm open to suggestions of good podcasts to listen to. I've heard some good recommendations. There's one called Last Podcast on the Left or something like that. It's like a horror themed podcast. It seems kind of interesting, but feel free to recommend me some. I need something to listen to at work while I'm mindlessly doing calculations and counting things and wishing I was doing videos. Generic cartoon reaction channel. What is the best horror movie franchise in your opinion? I tend to be partial to the Friday the 13th movies. I kind of love Jason as a villain because he's so hard to get rid of, and granted the lore gets kind of muddy as you go along, but I kind of love him as a hulking, unstoppable beast that's tracking, hunting people down and killing them, and he's hard to put down. This of course is like Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street rather, which has a lot of good moments. Trying to think of other ones. Well, we're talking franchise. Franchise would imply many. I remember liking the Critter movies when I was little. The first two in particular. After that, it gets kind of messy. And then didn't they have like a TV show? I don't remember if the TV show was any good. The Evil Dead series, of course, is really good. I watched the first season of Ash vs. Evil Dead. I haven't watched any more of it, unfortunately, but I would like to revisit that at some point. But yeah, I guess Friday the 13th probably my favorite. Okay, I had to take a little intermission. I'm running a little short on time, so hopefully I can answer these as fast as I can. Peter Ang, if you were a writer or a creator or the person in charge of making a Thundercats reboot, and yes, it include a crossover between Silverhawks and Tiger Sharks, how would you envision it in your own image? So what I would probably do, I would probably look toward the 2002 Masters of the Universe reboot as inspiration. Believe it or not, in my opinion, there's two really good types of reboots. There was the 2002 Masters of the Universe, which, as much as I actually did kind of like Revelation, despite a few problems with it, I feel like 2002 did a better reboot of the series. And then there's the 2011 Thundercats series, which, in my opinion, is not a reboot, it's a reimagining. Because it's a completely different story. Like, they took the characters and the ideas, and they made something completely different with it, and it was great. But if we want to do a true reboot, 2002 Masters of the Universe nailed it. Like, it took the characters, it took the concepts, it got rid of a lot of the dumb stuff, and it told a better story. And that it improved the things that needed to be improved. And to me, that is what a good reboot is. So, I mean, if we were to reboot Thundercats, I would probably, do a similar story. I kind of like the idea of them being, from space and coming to Earth and, post-human Earth where, like, everything is gone. I wish, if I was to do that, I would probably do one thing that I talked about in my review of it, where they would find, the remnants of human civilization and stuff like that, and then they would try and piece things together, and they could probably have, the Tiger Sharks be on Earth as, the fish people that they are, and maybe Silverhawks would be like, because they have long lives according to the show, which is really messed up, they could probably, exist in the future as well, and you could do the crossover. I think there was talks of a crossover with Thundercats and Silverhawks, but obviously it never happened. I don't know if that was just a rumor or what, but yeah, if you want a good example of a reboot, 2002 Masters of the Universe is a good one. Voltron Legendary Defender is another really good example of that. Just do what they did. Take the ideas that you liked and make them good, and then improve the bad parts. That's it. Reboots are not difficult, okay? We seem to have problems with reboots, but that's all you got to do. Take something that has a cool idea but didn't quite execute well and just improve it. That's it. That's all you got to do. Oh, man. Yeah, anyway, let's move on. Sharky Girl. I believe in agendas in the cartoon animated series, movies industry, and frankly, I think it's terrible. Do you think some series benefit from it, or if they are harmful in the long run? I've heard many different things about the industry. The problem is I don't know who to believe because a lot of it is like social media noise, and you know, I'm at the point in my life where stuff like conspiracy theories, like I don't have time for that anymore. I'm just tired of it, and if you want to convince me of something, you have to prove it to me, and it's just hard to prove things nowadays. If there are agendas, they're probably going to be a bad thing. Like I've heard things about gatekeeping and you know making a show about something, but then like not believing it and basically meaning that they're just doing it for the money and the fact that it's something current, but maybe the creators behind it or even like the higher ups are just not necessarily in favor of that thing, but they put it out anyway because they know that that's like the current thing, and that's what'll get money, and that's terrible. That is dishonest. Like good art is honest. All right, you have to believe in the thing that you're making. You can't just put it out there and you might make your money. You probably be successful about it, but in the long run, it's just not going to do you well. But as far as they would definitely be harmful, if they are if they are legitimate, if the claims are legitimate. But again, they're hard to prove. Like you have to take someone's word for it, and you don't know this person. Maybe you know their work and you like their work, but you don't know them as a person. So I don't know. I try not to mess around with stuff like that these days. I try to judge product, and then if it's revealed later that product had nefarious intent behind it, then it definitely inhibits the enjoyment of it. So there you go. Andy Oppenheim, is there a show you want to review but can't find at all? There are many. That is kind of a criteria for Cartoon Clip Show. Like I have to find I have to find at least a majority of what I'm trying to review. I prefer to get the whole thing so I can judge it as a whole, but it's always kind of difficult, especially when you're talking about stuff I like to do, and that's kind of why the archive is important, because I have physical copies of things. I can rip a VHS if I have to, if I can't find it on YouTube or whatever. There's a show that I've been wanting to review called it's an old French show. It's called Spartacus and the Sun Beneath the Sea. They aired it on Nickelodeon in the 80s, and it's hard to find the English version. So like some episodes exist in French but not in English, and I don't know how to find like a good quality English version of it. But I really want to watch it again because it was weird and it was kind of cool. But it was kind of a companion piece to Mysterious Cities of Gold. But I want to. It was so strange. Like it was really strange. Like there was an episode that I watched. It was like a King Kong parody or something. It was just weird. It has an amazing theme song, by the way, as a lot of them do. Let's see, anything else that I would want to review but I can't. That's definitely high up on the list. I haven't checked YouTube in a while. Maybe somebody uploaded. That's the thing. Like I'll say like I want to review something, and then I'm like I can't find it, and then like that would be like years ago. But then I check YouTube and it's like, oh, it's right there. New Adventures of He-Man was one for a while, and I will get to that at some point because the thing that held me back with that was there was volume 2 of the DVD release was very rare, and since then I have found it for a reasonable price. So I can rip the episodes. I don't know if the episodes have since been uploaded, and if they have, I will definitely do a bit about that in the review. But that was another one. But yeah, there's a couple. Maybe I just can't think of others right now, but yeah, finding the episodes and preferably finding them in good quality is definitely what I try to do. And sometimes, older shows are just harder to find. Epicness of awesome. Are there any foreign cartoons you wish aired in the U.S.? I've seen snippets of a lot of European cartoons that I thought were kind of cool, but they never got U.S. releases. Some shows did, especially like in the early days of Nickelodeon. They would import stuff from like France and the U.K. and various other places. So we got like Danger Mouse, and we got Duckula, and like I said, Mysterious Cities of Gold, and David the Gnome, which are really cool. It's a shame that some shows just never came over. I don't know why they haven't. I'm trying to think of which ones are good. There's a lot of like weird, like creepy shows, but like fun type of creepies. There was one in the UK. I think it was called the Baskervilles or something. It was about this like regular family moving into a neighborhood full of like vampires and monsters and stuff. And I kind of love stuff like that. I wish stuff like that got a little more exposure. I'd have to check, and there's some other ones I remember. There what was that one show? It was another vampire show. I think it was from Germany, actually. It was some vampire show in Germany. I thought it looked kind of cute, and I thought, it could have aired here, maybe on like Nickelodeon or Disney or something. I don't even know if it had like an English dub, but there's some occasionally that I find. I wish I could remember the names of some of them though. Talking like a lot of older shows. There was one from the UK called The Trap Door. I don't remember if it was a cartoon. Was it a cartoon? It had a cartoon intro. The intro again was really cool, and I kind of there's a lot of shows like that in Europe, like weird vampire and Halloweeny, fun kids shows, and for some reason they never come to the U.S. and it's like, why? they're awesome. They would go over so well with audiences, but for some reason they just never do. Jonathan LaBelle, if you could eat a cartoon food, what would it be? Oh my gosh. I think there are whole YouTube channels dedicated to making fictional foods from cartoons. Like I think someone made a Krabby Patty from SpongeBob, and like various pizzas from Ninja Turtles. I think James Rolfe did a video where he tried all the different pizzas from the original Ninja Turtle series. Some of them weren't very good, as we knew. Speaking of Ninja Turtles, there was an episode of the 2012 show where they made pizza gyoza, and I kind of want to try that. That sounds amazing. Like gyoza, like pizza flavored gyoza. Then you get into the realm of like anime food. I don't know what it is about like anime and having the best looking food. Like there are whole animes dedicated to like cooking, and they just look amazing. Like the animators just go all out with it. And there's a whole thing about like Studio Ghibli, how food looks there, and it's like, oh my god. Maybe I should do a video looking at cartoon food. That would be kind of interesting. Send me some cartoon food, and I'll do a video on it. Anime God 500 Rebirth. Do you have any plans on doing Cartoon Clip Show episodes on any of the Transformers cartoons? Not particularly, to be honest. Believe it or not, I like Transformers, but I've never been really into Transformers. Like Transformers is like a whole subculture of like cartoons and toys, and I'm just not in that. I like Transformers. I didn't watch the original series, believe it or not, until much later. I saw a little bit of Beast Wars when it came out because I mistook it for Reboot. And occasionally I would watch some other ones. I think my first full cartoon Transformers cartoon was Armada, the best one. I don't know. Do people like Armada? I don't know. It didn't really leave much of an impression on me. It's a little too anime for my taste. I did like Prime. I like Transformers Animated. The Netflix show was really good. But I feel like, it's possible that I can occasionally touch on touch on Transformers, you know, in the future, but I was a G.I. Joe kid. So you can imagine how miserable I feel these days, because G.I. Joe doesn't really do a whole lot except for like occasional toy releases. You know, we haven't had a good G.I. Joe show in a very long time, which is a shame. I think they were talking about doing another one, but I'm not sure. Yeah, Transform. It's possible. I don't like to say no to a lot of things, but it is possible I could touch on Transformers at some point. I have. It's not my priority. Let's put it that way. I have many other things on my agenda that I want to get through first, but possible, but not likely in the near future. Brian Levine, what are your favorite and least favorite Cartoon Clip Show episodes that you've made? Least favorite, definitely some of the earlier ones. The pre-10s, I like to call them. That was, again, I talked about this already. Those were like the experimental days, and I kind of didn't know what I was doing. So I just kind of did whatever, and the videos haven't aged very well. I was kind of hard on Bucky O'Hare. I also reviewed Oban Star Racers, which the video itself is not that bad. It's just that that's one of my favorite shows of all time, and I feel like I didn't do it very good justice in my review. Best episodes, Mysterious Cities of Gold went over very well. I have very little negative feelings about that. Usually it's like I put out a video and I'm like, I could have did this, I could have said that. I think Mysterious Cities of Gold came out very well. Of course, the Thundercats review, the Masters of the Universe review, I think came out well. She-Ra as well. Believe it or not, my all-time favorite episode of Cartoon Clip Show is one that no one cares about, as is the case for artists, you know. Your favorite work that you put a lot of time in, no one cares about. It was the Popeye review that I put out for a April Fool's gag. I would love to do April Fool's videos again at some point. Hopefully I have time for this year. So, yeah, the premise of that, if you haven't seen that video, look it up. It's one of my favorites. The premise of the video is, like, what if I was part of, like, a lineage of reviewers? Like my father, my grandfather, my great-grandfather. And I had this scenario put in my head, like, during matinees, they would show, like, my great-grandfather's reviews, where he would talk about, like, Popeye or whatever. And the more you think about that, the more absurd it gets. Because, like, those old short cartoons, like Bugs Bunny and Popeye and everything, they would show those in the movie theaters. They were, like, 6 minutes long. And they would show them, like, in between movies or whatever. And the idea of, like, someone just showing up and talking about them instead of just showing them is just the most absurd thing in the world to me. And it's just... I really, really liked how that video turned out, but nobody really cares about it. So, Rebecca Asia, can you review Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie? Well, it's not a cartoon, so no at the moment. I have considered maybe branching out to doing other things that aren't cartoons. Like I wanted to do movie reviews as well, but I felt like the market for movie reviewers is way too oversaturated. But I had some ideas of how to do movie reviews. One idea I had was I was going to do, because I hadn't seen all these movies, and this was a long time ago, by the way. I was going to do a series where I watched the Harry Potter movies, and I was going to call the series Rob Goes to Wizard School. And I would just, watch each movie and then put out a video about it and talk about it. This was before all the bad things happened. But I wanted to, because I've only seen 2 of them, and I did like them, but I never watched the rest of them. I also wanted to do videos just on my personal favorite movies of all time. I guess that's still, on the table should I get tired of doing... Like I've always been thinking of like what I was going to do with this channel if I ever did decide to stop Cartoon Clip Show. And, I have plenty of ideas out there, but I don't know. Again, for those people probably hate hearing that, but Cartoon Clip Show is not going anywhere yet, so don't worry about that. As far as my thoughts on the movie itself, I saw it in the theaters. I thought it was pretty cool. I liked Power Rangers at the time. I wasn't a huge Power Rangers fan, but I did. I did really like it. Went with my cousins, so that was kind of fun. Oh, we're at the bottom. Oh, hold on. Yeah, we're getting close to the end. Good, because I got stuff to do. All right. But yeah, the movie's all right. I did like the scene where the Megazord kneed Ivan Ooze in the in the groin. That made me laugh. But yeah, the movie's all right. I did like it at the time. Nathan Sprawlden, have there been times you wanted to quit YouTube in the years that you've had this channel? Many, many times, many times. When it felt like it wasn't working out, and it still doesn't feel like it's working out. There have been times where I weigh my options, and I'm like, I can spend all this time doing a video, or I can be doing something else. And I've thought the thought has occurred to me many, many, many times. Again, if I did, I feel like I wouldn't want to entirely quit YouTube. There's always the gaming channel. Again, I still love doing the gaming stuff. The toy channel could probably linger on. I don't know what I would do with this channel again. Maybe figure something out. But yeah, there have been many, many times where I just, I kept weighing my options and seeing, is the time I'm putting into this really worth it? And like spending my life, writing and editing while I also have a 9-to-5 job and have other responsibilities I have to take care of. But we're lingering on. I don't know why we're lingering on, but we're lingering on. James Moss, can you do a clip show on Road Rovers? That would be a good one to do. I have the DVD of it somewhere. Road Rovers. There you are, all the way over here. I have it. There it is. I got it a long time ago. I know a lot of people like that show. I kind of liked it also when it first came out, although I didn't watch a whole lot of it. It's possible. I'll see what the future holds. Again, I've got kind of a backlog of stuff that I've been trying to get through, so hopefully we'll get around to other things. And speaking of which, Anime Night 89. Also, can you do a cartoon clip show on Turbo Teen? Again, it's possible. That show definitely would be good material. The thing about Turbo Teen, though, is that's one of those shows that never got preserved. I don't know how much of it is still around. I could probably find a lot of it on YouTube, but I'm sure the quality is not going to be great. Again, a criteria for cartoon clip show is I have to find the thing I want to review, at least in majority, and I also prefer to have good quality footage, or the best quality footage possible. So if it's out there, that's a maybe. But it's good to know. Even though I don't take Patreon requests, it's good to hear like suggestions from people, so that maybe I'll prioritize those in the future. All right, that appears to be all the questions I have. Yep, that's all the questions. Again, if I missed you, I'm sorry. Help me get to 9,000 subscribers, and we will do another Q&A video. Or you can show up on one of my live streams and ask me. Sometimes I answer questions there, so there's that. So I have stuff to do today. Thanks for watching. Thanks for submitting your questions. I also need to get to work on the next cartoon clip show because it's going to be a very important one for me. But yeah, again, thanks for the support. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't done so already, and like the videos and comment because it helps. And check out my other channels, Rob's Toy Bin, my toy channel, and Rob the Casual Gamer, my gaming channel. Again, I want to try and grow the gaming channel, so I want to help push that. So, but again, thanks for being here, and I will see you guys later.